Now at 4, extensive, widespread flooding. Today, our first view from the air. Sky King flew over parts of Whatcom and Skagit counties where the rain didn't let up for days. I'm Jessica Janner Castro.
I'm Greg Copeland. Power is out for thousands still. Hundreds more have been forced from their homes. Businesses are also flooded.
And don't even think about trying to drive in the two counties. Many roads are either underwater or simply closed. One of those is I-5, which has had major closures over a several-mile stretch. The interstate remains closed near mile marker 254. That's near Lake Samish. A late afternoon landslide yesterday shut down both directions of I-5, and northbound lanes have been closed since.
Take a look at this, some new video of road crews working for hours to remove mud, trees, and anything else the landslide brought down with it. King 5's Glenn Farley is live along I-5 today. And Glenn, do we have any idea when we can expect the interstate to reopen?
The reality is DOT, the Department of Transportation, says we do not yet. And behind me, you can see part of the problem. The backup just from the closure to here is 8 miles, and that doesn't even include the reroute, that the detour that is taking people around that. Now let me show you some video here about what we are talking about. There were 3 slides, but there were 2 of them that were the major problem. Most of this has been cleaned up. It's not what's on the road that's a problem, it's what's hanging above the highway. Again, southbound is back open. That was just closed overnight because of too much water on the roadway. But it's the northbound lanes of I-5. If you've driven I-5 up to Bellingham before and are not familiar with the area, this is the area where you go through and things are really very steep on both sides, and you can actually see Lake Samish off to the side if that helps locate this slide for you. But 2 significant slides, but it's the smaller of the 2 that has more debris, trees, and other things that are hanging over the roadway threatening to come down. They have brought geotechnical engineers in, some all the way up from Olympia, to help decide how to bring the remaining trees down so they don't have another slide, another closure. And we know 3 cars were hit yesterday by trees and debris. They don't want that to happen again. Live in Whatcom County, Glenn Farley, King 5 News.
Glenn, thank you. And it's estimated that 3/4 of all homes have some kind of water damage in flood-ravaged Sumas. Many neighborhoods and the main downtown stretch were underwater at some point. Volunteers and first responders helped rescue and evacuate hundreds of people, relying on boats to pull people from their homes. Most roads in and out of town had to be closed, and that virtually cut off the border town from the rest of Washington state.
Also in Sumas, the saturated ground gave way underneath a BNSF train. The city says 12 cars derailed sometime late last night. That railroad has crews on the ground, but the water is still up to the tracks right now.
And Sky King also flew over Everson today. That's also in Whatcom County along the flooded Nooksack River. A family there is right now desperately searching for their missing loved one, a father of 4.
Floodwaters apparently swept him away sometime yesterday. King 5's Eric Wilkinson joins us live from there with the latest. Eric?
Yeah, and as we show you some of the damage left behind in the wake of those floodwaters, we want to tell you this gentleman's name is Jose Garcia. He turned 49 just a couple of weeks ago. He has 4 children who are all now desperately trying to find him. Jose Garcia's family says he was on his way to work around 4 o'clock Monday morning when he called home warning his wife the floodwaters were deep and dangerous. He said he needed help because his car was being carried away by the current. Garcia said he was somewhere between this O'Reilly Auto Parts store and Nooksack Valley Middle School just a few blocks away. At last report, he was holding on to a tree with freezing cold waters rushing around him. Garcia's family called for help, but by the time officers could arrive, he was nowhere to be found. Today, as neighbors dealt with their own hardships, their hearts broke for the Garcia family.
All we know is that people are looking for him, and there was one lady, I guess, who she's grief-stricken. She was kneeling in water, just sobbing. I mean, if anything, I can say this hit our community, and it hit it hard.
Back live now, off in the distance there, you can see some search and rescue workers who are walking these flooded fields looking for Mr. Garcia. So far, they have not had any success. We can tell you, however, that police say that he did apparently drive past some road closed signs while he was trying to get to work, and that's apparently what caused him to get washed away. We'll keep on top of this for you. For now, reporting live in Everson, Eric Wilkinson, King 5 News.
Just a sad story, Eric. Thank you. We are hearing from some of the people rescued off a rooftop in La Push along the Washington coast.
What was that like to finally know that they had seen you?
It's indescribable. It was my heart leaped into my throat, and I was just so pleased.
The Coast Guard rescued 10 people, including 4 children, from a flooded neighborhood in La Push yesterday afternoon. Coming up at 5 o'clock, you're going to hear from one man who was trapped in his own home and waited in his attic for 12 hours for rescuers. In Mount Vernon, the Skagit River crested this morning. Look at all that water, just barely under its all-time record. There wasn't much wiggle room either. The water crept up the brand new flood walls, which kept most of the water out of downtown, fortunately. This afternoon, evacuations were also lifted. There was concern about a dike failing, but it has held up.
Sky King flew over flooding today as well after all that rain, and this is some of the footage from Sky King. This is the scene in Fur Island. You can see just how widespread the flooding in the area there of Skagit County was. And the good news is that we're starting to dry out. We saw some sunshine today, Mike, and that's very pleasant.
It was some welcome relief, Jessica.
Yes.
We certainly needed it. You know, we're tracking more of that. In fact, last night the theme was clearing, calming, and cooling, and now we are clear, calm, and cool. Here's a live look from La Push. Happy to report things are considerably more tranquil there. Still seeing a lot of whitecaps out there, but not seeing those gusty winds, and more importantly, not seeing that heavy rain. We are tracking some more rain that will move in on Thursday right into that region, but let's enjoy what we've got right now. Currently 48 degrees in Seattle right now. Light wind coming in from the northeast. Happy to be able to say the word light for the first time in a while. Humidity sitting at 56%. We are doing some evaporating after all of that heavy rain. So here's our mode. Now we are clear, calm, and most importantly, cool. You may have noticed that when you stepped out this morning. Temperatures touching down in the upper 30s and lower 40s. We're going to touch down in the mid 30s overnight tonight. So when you're getting ready to head out tomorrow morning, make sure you're adding an extra layer there. Saturated ground still equals a slide threat. Now, I can't stress this enough. Even though we are now finished with the rain, we are not done with the slide threat. So remember to be spatially aware. And as we've said several times over the last couple of days, do not attempt to drive through that standing water. There's still plenty of that out there. Taking a look at some chilly mornings ahead. Yeah, it looks like that's going to be the mode we'll take into midweek. Now, the two trouble spots, and we've already mentioned it, but it bears repeating, is the Skagit and the lower Nooksack. We are still at major flood stage. We will continue to stay there. It's going to take a while for all of that to wind down. Tracking some rain that will move through the region on Thursday, but it looks like it's going to be more of a southerly thing. I'll give you the details on that. And then, of course, we also still have that flood warning at the Skokomish there, right at Nooksack. We'll keep a close eye on that for you as well. Here's the big story. Radar showing everything almost completely clear, including our convergence zone. We just have a few more showers to squeeze out, and then we're going to be dry and cool. I'll give you the details on that and the next round of rain moving in coming up.
Okay, Mike, thank you. Right now, tens of thousands of people are still without power as the temperatures begin to plunge. Puget Sound Energy says more than 26,000 customers are dealing with outages right now. Snohomish County PUD says just shy of 7,400 customers are without power. And some good news, Seattle City Light has resolved most of its outages, just 21 now.
Sounder trains north of Seattle are canceled again today. Service is canceled as a precaution because of the risk of landslides along the route. We are told that Amtrak and others have done a lot to mitigate landslide risk along the track by adding things like fencing. Riders are urged to use regular bus service, and there's still no word on whether the train service will resume tomorrow. We have more weather coverage for you on the way. Mike Everett will be back with our full forecast in the next 10 minutes. We'll also introduce you to a first responder going above and beyond the call of duty.